For as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to write and illustrate a children's book. It's always been a goal of mine, but not something I thought I would do at this stage of my life. When I was really little, I used to draw more in cartoon styles, but as I started majoring in art in college, I realized that my style is a lot more of realism. I love to paint and draw, and I sort of put this goal of writing and illustrating on the back burner. But now in my senior year, for my capstone senior thesis project, I decided to write and illustrate a book, and I'm going to take you through the journey of creating this piece. So this book is called Sammy the Sloth's Spectacular Art Show. And this book takes place in an art class. Yes, George?
I know what spectacular is.
What is spectacular? That's a really big word, right? What does that word mean?
Means something big and beautiful.
Yes, just right. Just right, George. You're so smart. Okay. On a cool, crisp November morning at Fauna Elementary, all of the students were busy chattering about 1, 2, 3. Pig, goat, flea. Pencils down and eyes on me, called the art teacher, Miss Barrington. A hush fell over the classroom. We have so many great artists in the 2nd grade, Miss Barrington paused before saying. So this week, we art show.
I have art show on my lap.
Really? All of Sammy's classmates cheered. Sammy stayed silent. A bad feeling was bubbling deep inside her belly. Sammy looked around the classroom at all of her classmates. Ronnie Rabbit hopped up first and grabbed the best markers from the front of the room. Gia the giraffe was on her tippy toes reaching for the largest canvas. Sammy slowly made her way out of her seat, down the aisle, and to the front of the room. She could already see the other students were hard at work. There was Beatrice Butterfly painting yet another self-portrait. Sammy wasn't surprised. She was the prettiest girl in the grade. Piggy Casso wasn't afraid to get messy with his work. He often had more paint on his hooves than on the canvas. You see this crazy messy painting he made here? Oh boy. Sammy's heart sank as she realized all of the best markers and pencils were taken. Her shoulders slumped and her arms nearly touched the floor. Sammy loved to make art when she was at home, when she had all of the time to make her projects. But in class, she worked much slower. She never finished coloring by the time the bell rang. It didn't help that she fell asleep in class no matter how excited she was to do her work. Just thinking about sleep made Sammy start to yawn, which made her eyelids start to droop, which made her head start to nod. What do you think's gonna happen? You don't know? Let's see. Sammy fell asleep in class again. Oh my goodness, she's in a dream. Sammy, Sammy, Miss Barrington called from afar. Class is almost over. Sammy blinked her eyes wide open and was startled to see all of her classmates cleaning up their tables. Oh no, Sammy thought, looking at her empty paper. All I did was dream and I didn't make anything for the art show. As the students filed out of the room, Miss Barrington stopped and said, Miss Barrington, I have nothing to submit, Sammy cried. I'm not as fast as the other kids, and I'm definitely not as creative. Plus, I always fall asleep. What a rotten artist I am. No such thing, Sammy, Miss Barrington soothed. Every artist is different, and we all work at our own speed. Why don't you take your project home where you have all the time to be creative? Back in her bedroom, Sammy set to work on her art project. She thought and thought about what to draw, but nothing came to mind. So she decided to hang out and think and think.
Why is she upside down?
Why is she upside down? That's a good question. Do you know that sloths like to sleep upside down? They're so silly! All art class, Sammy had spent dreaming, and what a lovely dream at that. Aha! Sammy shouted. For my art project, I'll draw my dream. By the end of the night, Sammy had made a mess, but she had also made a masterpiece. The next day, Sammy excitedly arrived at school with her painting in hand. In the gymnasium, all the students in her class had lined up their work for the art show. Sammy admired each drawing one by one and noticed how different they all looked. Even though every artist had made their own unique picture, Sammy the sloth couldn't help but smile when she noticed that hers fit in perfectly. It was just her own, and it was just the end. The end. Yay!